All right, welcome back. We're about to
As you
continue
wish.
our way down Brackenberry. Looks like we have something in the stronghold. Did upgrade finish? Is it just the hireling payday? 50 coppers. Messenger from Defiance Bay. I don't think that's the same thing. I'm pretty sure that was what led us to, oh no, yeah. The palace messenger left the stronghold, yeah. Okay, that is what led us here in the first place. No events currently pending, right. Okay. It was probably just referring to the payday. I think the, yeah, that's still going, so. Now, we've already been to the Raymond Manor, I think. Jalistra, the Palzerker Stobar. Speed up a little bit. Oh, what the? The mortared stone wall is sheltered by the eaves. A knotty green vine climbs all the way up to an open window. Two ornate shutters seem to beckon you in. Now, we were on friendly-ish terms with Raymond, I think. We told him about the plot to steal his stuff. But I kind of want to go up there. Let's test the vines. You give the vines a shake. They're thick and sturdy in your hands, but near the top they look flimsier. You might be able to make it to the top if you're quick. Well, you have the most athletics. You begin to ascend. As you rise, you feel the vines begin to give way beneath your weight. You attempt to scramble up the wall, pushing your limbs as fast as they'll move. The vines crumple to the ground while you struggle for purchase. Shoot, you return to the bottom exhausted. Fine, let's use a grappling hook. And we'll climb the rope. You cast your grappling hook and it catches on the windowsill. The rope remains taut as you put your weight on it. Bracing your legs against the wall, you climb the rope. You perch atop the windowsill and steady yourself against the frame while the breeze cools your back. You detect movement inside the house. Uh-oh. Blinking as your eyes adjust to the dim interior, you slip inside the manor. I don't even know why we're doing this. I don't think there's anything we want up here. But, well,
Yes. Slow and silent.
might as well. The deerwood.
Well,
Almost certainly trapped, right? The Light of Dawn. A Red Cairn Morality Play, Part 2. Oh. Sure, I'll take that too. I swear it's gonna be trapped. Or surprisingly not. Also, surprisingly, this doesn't count as theft. Alright, who has the most stealth? 7, 6, 6, 7, 9, 6. Okay, we'll send you as a scout. Granted, you don't have any, yeah, no, she doesn't have any, mechanics, so.
of course.
Oh, yeah, see, there's a guard here.
I see something.
That's definitely... Oh, good thing he doesn't find the door open suspicious. We have little reason to be up here. Will the rope remain in place? Or was that a complete waste? Let's climb down the rope. Climb at the window, gripping the rope. Ease yourself down the wall to the safety of the ground. imagine we could... Yeah, okay, the rope is still there. I imagine we could steal whatever it is the people were intending to steal. But that wouldn't be exactly in character. So I see very little reason to do it. Aside from my curiosity, which, to be fair, will probably eventually get the better of me. Hey guys. Not theft. I'll take that then. There isn't so much as a spot on these oranges. Ah, that's a dream come true. So it's Hadrit House over there. Lara Risson. You look important. What all the quests did I have in here? Right, we need to go to the Sanitarium. That's where... Wait. Right, I met Helga Thane, the wizard who killed Roina. All those years ago, he claims to know where she is, but he demanded a favor from me. Helga wants me to retrieve his grimoire to settle an old debt. He's confident that it's been locked away by Moidred, an Animancer at the Brackenberry Sanitarium. Helga's old rival. Right, where is the Sanitarium? Right there. Well, I mean, I'm down for knocking that off our list. Let's talk to this person first, though. Oh, no. She looked important, but I guess not. Just hear me out. This procedure, her soul will be returned intact, more or less. More or less? Is that how you plan on presenting your idea to Ethelmore? Seriously. Why? Not good? Seriously, no. Oh, you phased through him. You must be a ghost. Not good. Why are you going back and forth so fast? Oh, well, I guess we are fast-forwarded, but still. Speak with Head Warden Ethelmore if you wish to make an appointment with one of our Animancers. I do not. The woman is absorbed in a book, muttering softly as she reads. Oh, a named one, Nedin. See if we can talk to her.
How do you do?
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. Okay. What are you busy with? She snaps her book shut. Yeah, I understand how annoying this would be. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. Right. What do you mean about making them stick? You know, what keeps them in the body? Unlike the Hollowborn. She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. Right. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Waidwin's legacy, maybe even conquer death. Well, I don't know about conquer death. When the body, even if you could reattach a soul, I don't know if the soul would want to be reattached to the body. If the body is dead, it's dead. Or incapable of going on, I should say. But it could end Waidwin's legacy, maybe. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory, anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. Well, what do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pangrim. It contains research from Pangrim's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Did I grab that when I was there? Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more, daring animancy texts. Daring in what way, Kana? Not something generally circulated among novices, nor easy to get a hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. I feel like that's one of the things they allowed me to take. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships Whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. Yeah. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. Well, maybe she could be persuaded. You're welcome to try, but you wouldn't be the first. She sighs. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? She looks eager to return to her studies. Why are you doing your studies out here? Do you just enjoy the sun? And even if so, why are you standing up? Just, rest your back against the pillar there. Or better yet, find a bench. Oh yeah, I did get the theorems. But first, tell me about yourself. I'm an Animancer at the Sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Waidwind's legacy. Yeah. I know what Waidwind's legacy is, but I guess I'll ask. Waidwind's legacy refers to the rise of Hollowborn children in the Deerwood in recent years. Some have also connected it to so-called Beowulfs that blow through Air Glanfath. It does seem kind of similar, I suppose. I mean, the Beowulfs rip souls from the body, do they not? There's hardly any reliable data on those, though. I mean, it would be hard to gain data on those when they, being around when it rips your soul from your body, supposedly. So I can't really comment. She sniffs. I don't much care for the term Waidwind's legacy. It reeks of superstition. I know, right? I thought blaming Waidwind too was, I don't think anyone has any evidence whatsoever that Waidwind is actually responsible. I mean, does the timing even line up properly? I think the Hollowborn crisis is years after the fact, is it not? But it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I like to see people take a more methodical approach to these matters rather than throwing up their hands and blaming the gods. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like you, Ned, and I will give you those theorems. A proper scientist. Good to hear someone speaking sense on the matter. I know, right, Kana? Even if you were gonna blame the gods, blaming the dead gods seems, well, not quite right. I have some questions about the theorems of Pangram. Suppose I should ask about them before giving them. I do want to give her them, though, now. I like her. Such as? Well, tell me about them. Pangram was an animancer working in the Deerwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. Right. That was kind of my point. Even if you could reattach the soul, force it to stick, it doesn't seem like something someone would want if the body was dying in the first place. He was controversial, to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? I mean, I presume they were effectively zombies, flesh was rotting, maybe. Or whatever condition they had was, would get worse. Edwin twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh. Living, soul-infused flesh. Yeah, so zombies. Whoopsie-daisy. I trust that you will continue this research safely with proper precautions, you aren't going to create a zombie apocalypse or anything like that. Though I suppose in this case, at the very least, getting bitten won't cause someone else to start hungering for flesh, at the very least. So, probably wouldn't have a zombie apocalypse. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. Oh my. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that. Well, that sounds like it requires quite a bit more research. But I have to say, it does seem like a promising avenue to pursue. And you wonder why Grimda won't share this research with you. It does sound like necromancy. It sounds dangerous. Of course it is, but every great discovery carries years of trial and error. Yeah. This is why we need the research of people like Pandgrim to help us turn these failures into something useful. I suppose you could do this research ethically. I mean, get people who are on their deathbed to volunteer to allow you to reattach their souls after death. And then, with the caveat that you aren't going to give them flesh, let them know what the risks are. But you could do it. You could do this ethically. Obviously, you wouldn't actually feed them human flesh. Or kith flesh, rather. Why doesn't Grimda lend you the books you need? The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rarer ones, and Grimda in particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in Darewood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research. It is a bit paradoxical, yeah. And perhaps frustrating. But I've never understood these religious types. Alice scowls at the Animancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I mean, there's some truth to that, but I don't think that's how those types they follow. They're not hiding knowledge just because it's dangerous. It's a little bit more silly than that. I'd like to know more about the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. You'll find it in the Copper Lane district. It's dedicated to the god of secrets and revelations. More importantly, it houses the largest and most expensive library in the Darewood. Well, that settles it. We simply must go see it, right? Kinda. We already did see it. We can go back someday for you, though. What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful texts in the Darewood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. Yeah. Alright, well, you can have it. You've sold me. I like you. You seem like you'll do things properly. You'll never believe what I found. You, Lady of Lament, you really found it! Nedlin cradles the musty tome like a newborn. I can't believe it. It really exists. She looks back to you. Thank you so much. This will be invaluable. She almost turns to the book. But at the last moment, she remembers herself and gives you a bag of coin. Oh, thank you very much. I didn't actually even need the reward. I just kind of wanted to give it to you. I'm glad this will be useful to you. I don't suppose you could spare a little more. Yeah, 500 copper is really low for such a valuable tome. Ah, of course. She pulls a ring from her finger. It may not look like much, but I've always been able to use this ring to generate a little extra money when I was between stipends. Oh, that sounds like a fun effect. It's critical for someone doing research without the benefit of a wealthy patron. Oh yeah, I feel a little bit bad about taking it from you now. Grant proposals. The bane of all researchers. She smiles weakly and hands it to you. Please take it. You've certainly given me a resource I couldn't have found on my own. The Ring of Eternal Funding. Thank you very much. I'll leave you alone and farewell. +5 copper. I mean, okay, but like, just anytime we get money, we get an extra 5? Is that how that goes? This plain gold band contains a power that belies its simple appearance. It's been passed between animancers, wizards, and other scholars for centuries because it provides a steady income to the wearer, allowing him or her to pursue research interests without being tied to a particular patron. I mean, I have the slot. Or no, I don't. That is a belt slot. Well, I don't really need Gon's pledge, I suppose. Theories of Pandagram. We didn't get a new one, did we? No. Charming windows are reinforced with iron bars and a double thickness of glass. Yikes. Voice from a pastor. Gotta retrieve Helig's research from Mordred's laboratory. No problem with us being here, guard? Good. A couple nobles here. The table is set with an assortment of leaflets and booklets with titles like Practical Benefits of Animancy and Soul Adjustment for the Well-Adjusted Soul. Alright. I wonder if we'll find... I would expect if we were going to find another cipher... Right? That's my class name. Yeah. That it would be in an Animancer area. But, who knows? The Most Unfortunate Tale of Favia and Bernat, a Valian Tragedy. Verna? Nope. It would be fun to... Wait, the statue is the head warden? Huh. I guess that is similar to the throne in my keep. And, man's soul was torn asunder by a Biwa. And they are Animancers, so they could put someone's soul in there, I suppose. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive, common after soul trauma. The Animancer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. Man, a portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We used the stone as a vessel for transfer. That's actually really cool. Can you hear me, Oswin? The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Wait a minute. Unfortunately, the extended dissociation has permanent side effects. Right. Patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. That's not... With further research, we're confident we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. He was in my convoy at the start, wasn't he? There was an Oswin there. I swear it was Oswin was like the leader of the convoy. It was set within a storm. Oh, right. Oddmer.
Hello.
A bald man with a crooked nose gestures in demonstration over the still body of a patient before a small gathering of interested onlookers. Filling your gaze, he pauses his discussion. Have you come to sit in? It is very fascinating. Well, at first I'd like to know more about the Sanitarium. He gives an eager nod. It's the mission that attracted me here. The treatment of the disturbed. No one else seems to care about them. Here, they've worked wonders for them. S- Seems like you guys do cutting edge research on the soul. I've seen people cured of insatiable hungers and uncontrollable urges. I've seen the crippled walk and the dysphoric smile, all within these walls. The thought that the Duke could put an end to it with a single order, it keeps me up at nights. Yeah, it'd be a shame. But I think the Duke is on your side, isn't he? Seems the nobles in general are.
Hello.
What is it you do here? Close as we are to Glenfathen Wilds, we get a number of Beowulk maimings every year. Survivors dealing with the complications from exposure. This fellow here is a severe case. His essence is a mere whisper of what it was. Man, that could have been us. Or me. I suppose the other people that were with me are dead. I am merely in my research. I am early in my research, only beginning to understand how they work. But in time, I hope to find a way to protect people from the storm's effects. That's very noble of you. Very valuable research. I do wish you well. Saint Waidwin, farmer become god. That sounds interesting. ER mid? Probably not someone we can talk to. Yeah. Animancy in the modern age. I hear whispering. Is there a soul nearby? Psalm to Voidika. Huh. That's cool. Okay. This painting is a rolling forest glen. It's a strangely soothing effect. Are we allowed to go down then? Doesn't seem like there's any guard trying to stop us. Perhaps we should talk to the head warden first, though. Head warden Ethelmore. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply. I guess I should give a deeper voice. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. Yeah, definitely the real thing. It's very cool. It's always cool when they actually recognize me as one without me even saying anything. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped in my work in life. Now, what is it that you brought? What is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? Well, we can get to that in a second. Tell me about the sanitarium. A history lesson. This is a rare pleasure. Oh no, what did I do? Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. Well, it's a decently old institution, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still fairly young. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves. Thus, the Sanitarium sanitizes their souls. I think I get it. Yeah. Brackenberry was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. It seems like there still is. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion in Animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. Yeah, people with morally questionable methods causing great harm to the field as a whole. It's unfortunate, really. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been at the forefront of Animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways that we never thought possible. So you from that early day? How long have you been in that statue? Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today it's, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. Yeah, they're very foolish. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. Yeah, it's a tale as old as time, isn't it? They assume you know very little, though you're trying to understand, and they assume it's a conspiracy that you're hiding something. Yeah. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. It's really foolish, though. Who else? The Animancers, well, I guess us, but are going to solve Waidwin's legacy. Even if the source is that group that I'm hunting down, which seems fairly likely. Whatever it was I saw them doing probably has to do with the Hollowborn. I doubt that was the only location they did that at either. Even if they don't figure out that cause, they might be able to come up with a fix, or at least a temporary one. I'm curious about as to how you've come to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs. I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Fair. Somewhere, someday, I could wake up in a new body none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. Yeah, that's fair. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. Right. Yeah, there are definitely benefits to a long life, a long perspective when it comes to research. To live on as a part of something I helped build seemed to be a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our techniques go, and for that I'm grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. Right. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem. But they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. It is unfortunate. Collaboration breeds innovation. Really helps, can help overcome hurdles. But I understand them not wanting others to steal their research. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. I'm actually looking for an Animancer named Moidred. Moidred? Of course. You will find him downstairs in the first room on the right. Why, thank you. I guess I am allowed down there. There's the first door. There's only one door. Oh. Did he say on the right or the left? I think he said on the right. But let's check multiple doors. There's Beliseg. Is that a cage? This strange device seems to thrum with power. What's going on here?
Well met, friend.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She almost walks into you. Kosi! Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? What do you do here? According to my research grant, I study awakenings. Ooh. Oh. I could use your help. Sublimating pre-awakened souls has been one of Animancer's greatest successes, and I am working on a method to replicate the process on awakened souls. She gnaws at her lip. But the truth is that I find few suitable subjects here. Waidwind's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. Oh, I fear I will return to Revour with nothing to show for my efforts. Well, I'm actually awakened. I've been recalling flashes of a past life. She scratches her chin. Most interesting, but not the kind of awakening I can study, I'm afraid. Damn it. I'm so sorry. I was hoping I could help you, and that you could help me. I need someone whose awakened soul can be triggered with predictable stimuli. Souls such as these tend to manifest as alternate personas in the host. Well, unfortunately, we had someone like that, but they were dead. She gives you a broad, if strained, smile. But I thank you for the offer. Something else you need? Well, I'd like to know more about Animancy in the Valian Republics. It is a dynamic and respected field. Even the Balereach incident did little to slow it down. Not familiar. She shrugs. People in the Republics are more accepting of risk, less superstitious, ready to try anything that shows promise. No, that's good. People should turn to the gods for answers. No, they really shouldn't. The gods do seem to be real. At least I seem to have talked to one. But, yeah. And no, we should not rely on them for answers. But Animancy has the potential to do great harm. No. It's a shame that so many here are hostile toward Animancy. Yes, it really is a shame. It is, but such is the way of the Darewood. The people here are fierce about their sovereignty, but they are not so independent from their Ediran brothers and their Glanfathan neighbors as they would like to think. They rely too much on the mysterious workings of the gods and fear the very advances they need. Yeah. I'm not saying they should abandon the gods, but there's nothing wrong with studying the nature of souls. Yeah, I think that's where he's going to be. Oh, now there's a place I can't go. No one in here. Oh, that one requires a key as well. Hello, Mordred. Don't mind me. Let me check some stuff. In a corner of Mordred's lab rests a large, weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue of its size. You would think, but that could be, misleading. Examine the trunk more closely. The lack of dust on the trunk's surface and long scratches on the tile flooring suggests that the trunk is frequently used and moved throughout the laboratory, despite its considerable size. Deep yet narrow gouges score the wood at the edges of the trunk. They look like claw marks. Huh. Thank you, perception. My perception is already paying dividends. Oh, wow. When did I get an extra 2? Criminal's getaway resting bonus. Wait. Criminal's getaway? Oh, the inn. Well, I would still have 18 even without that. That's
Yes.
theft, but I can at least take a look at what they have. Yeah.
As you wish.
Hello, Mordred. An Animancer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation. Doesn't seem like he cares for my presence.
Hail, traveler.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. Well, at least he's putting on. Well, he's at least trying. Oh, what are you working on? My area of focus is whites. More specifically, how to cure them. What's a white? A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. Right, I think we had heard about that attempt at a solution. One of Animancer's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. I have to wonder, so with the legacy, is it every single birth fails, or is it only some? Because if it's every single birth, I mean, there's an entire generation that's currently missing. That is going to wreak incredible havoc on your demographics. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive. Right. Feral, but still victims in need of care. That's good that they're not just abandoning them. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We Animancers were trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. Seriously, that's honestly enough of an emergency that I can understand trying almost anything and everything. He stares at a fixed point on the far wall, and despite the controversy, it only went so far because, at first, it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty. Huh. So as children, they actually are intelligent, normal children? He did say adolescence, I suppose. That's very interesting. But that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we paid dearly for our mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside often as not. That seems a bit much. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged us for our help, and we did the best we could. I still don't know if that absolves us. I mean, your intentions were good, and, what was the alternative? Leave them soulless bodies? I mean, I don't really think there was it was worth it it was worth pursuing, especially when it seemed like it was working. I think. And once it became clear that it doesn't, well, actually, are those the same ones that I fight sometimes? I wonder. Why do you study whites? He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? Yeah? His face is reddened, and he turns away from you for a moment. He shakes his head. Animancy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. Well, I wish you luck on your, research. So does the name Helig mean anything to you? Modred starts. Helig? He is, a colleague of mine. He was primarily a necromancer, but he was involved in animancy too. He worked at the Sanitarium for several years. I dare say everyone here has heard of him. He clears his throat. He left his post recently. I believe he was seeking new opportunities in the Valian Republics. Is that what you believe? Or are you actively lying to me? He leans forward. The advances they're making in animancy really are quite remarkable. Surely you've heard. He coughs again. Perhaps you haven't. Do you know a woman named Roina? No, I don't get out of the sanitarium much. Well, about Helig. Mordred smooths his robes. As I said, he no longer works here. Yeah, I've heard it differently. He slides his spectacles down his nose. Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you, it's in very poor taste. Well, Helig wasn't joking, and neither am I. So you didn't sink a blade into his chest and dump him in the catacombs? He'll be relieved to hear it. How could? Yeah, I think that paling confirms it. He sighs and runs a hand over his hair. Very well. Yes, I killed him. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. What did he do that was deserving of the death penalty? He was a madman. Years of perverse experiments, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls, and for what? He flayed the essence from Glenfathan indigents for his amusement. Oh, well. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I'm pretty sure I killed that one Animancer for similar crimes. He waves down the hall. If the public had known half of his deeds, they'd have razed this place to the ground. Yeah, another one of those Animancers that brings the rest down with them. He jabs his finger on the desk. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. He brought shame on us all and put the entire discipline at risk. I regret nothing. He calms down and sizes you up. Anyway, now you know the whole grisly story. Helig said you stole a grimoire from him. Yeah, his soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge. No doubt. He spreads his hands wide. But now you understand why I killed him. Why someone had to. True, he kind of left a lot of details vague. If he's sent to you, I only hope I can convince you to return and slay him once and for all. Yeah. He said you stole a grimoire from him. Modred's brows furrows. His grimoire? What's that madman been telling you? He said you kept it in that trunk over there. Modred takes the key with a trembling hand, his eyes darting to the trunk behind you. You've been misled. There's no grimoire in the grimoire here, and Helig never intended you to find one. What's in that trunk? That wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood. He shudders. Thank you for denying him. I hope I can convince you now to return and slay him once and for all. Well, what does the trunk actually do? Is it a mimic? I'll finish him. He does have something I need. I don't know what he's promised you, but he's already lied to you about the grimoire. I don't have it. If what I've told you about that evil, deceitful man hasn't swayed you, I don't know what else to say. He turns back to his papers. Trust him at your own peril. No, I do believe you. You seem like a good man.
Well,
Enter the Brackenbury Sanitarium. According to Helig, Mordred keeps everything of value in a trunk in his laboratory. He gives me a key to open it. Mordred confessed to killing Helig, but he also explained that Helig was a violent, dangerous man. I could continue helping Helig, or I could return to the catacombs and finish what Mordred started. I saved. Good. I just want to see what happens if I try to open this chest. Oh. I gave up the key. Right.
well,
Well, like I said, I'm very curious what happens if I open it, but... Oh. I've saved. Here we go. Very curious. You take the key and you acquired from Helig and place it in the lock. It fits perfectly and turns with a solid clunk. The trunk holds no grimoire or treasures. Instead, you find yourself staring into the feral gaze and toothy maw of a twisted, monstrous creature. Its humanoid form has been overwhelmed by bony angles and terrible claws. Frickin' yikes! With a start, you recognize the vague shape of a young girl beneath the elongated, malformed bones and grayish skin. It growls and leaps from the trunk, not toward you, but toward Mordred. Mordred has no time to scream before his throat is torn out. Yeah, he gets his revenge.
Some fermented caribou milk would hit the spot right now.
Not the time. Oh, he had vessel flesh on him too. Oh no, that belongs to there. He had the copper. Well, yeah, it is a good thing I didn't fall for that. I talked to Mordred first. Alright. Mordred is alive and well. Next time, well,
as you wish.
I would say we're gonna go and pay Helig a visit. But we'll visit the last few places in Brackenbury first. Until then,